Mikel Arteta makes Bukayo Saka commitment after Arsenal experiment delivers perfectly. Bukayo Saka's new role at Arsenal could become a more regular feature, according to hints from Mikel Arteta following a successful tactical experiment. The early rounds of the FA Cup often provide managers with an opportunity to test new ideas, and that is precisely what Arteta did, even if circumstances partly forced his hand. When the team sheets were announced, many Arsenal supporters were pleased to see Miles Lewis-Skelly named in midfield. However, plans changed quickly when Ricardo Calafiori was withdrawn from the starting 11, leading to Bukayo Saka stepping in. Lewis-Skelly shifted back to left-back, and in turn, fans witnessed something not seen since the pandemic era, Saka operating in central midfield. Saka formed a dynamic partnership with Gabrieljesus, and Arteta admitted after the match that he was pleasantly surprised by how quickly the players clicked. Building chemistry with so many changes can often take time, but Arsenal showed immediate cohesion. I was a bit surprised by the level of cohesion and connection very early in the match, Arteta explained. When you make that many changes, sometimes the understanding isn't there straight away, but that certainly wasn't the case. We scored some very good goals, and I'm very pleased. Saka contributed to the third goal, while Eze played key passes that led to the first two strikes from Noni Madueke and Gabriel Martinelli. Although Eze struggled in the previous draw against Brentford, where he was substituted at half-time, this performance may serve as a turning point. The timing is significant for Arteta, particularly with Martinodegaard dealing with a fresh issue and both Kaihavertz and Mikel Merino unavailable. Especially because we are going through to the next round, Arteta said. First it was the strikers, then the defenders, now it's the midfielders. We're coping, but we need players back fit to give us not just numbers, but different tactical options depending on the opponent. The quicker the better. Arteta also confirmed that deploying Saka centrally is an option that could reappear later this season. That's definitely a possibility, he admitted. I wanted to try it and we might use it again. We still have many games and different competitions ahead, so it's something we can consider. However, a repeat of the experiment against Wolves on Wednesday seems unlikely. Saka is expected to return to his usual role on the right wing, with Declanrice and Martin Zubimendi potentially stepping into midfield. Eze, though, may retain his central place and look to build on his assists. Among Arsenal's summer arrivals, Eze has arguably been the most underwhelming so far, though perhaps that isn't surprising. At Crystal Palace, he was the focal point of the team and enjoyed greater creative freedom. At Arsenal, he has joined a highly structured system that demands more tactical discipline and responsibility. Adjusting to that environment requires a different approach. In fact, one could argue that allowing him slightly more freedom might unlock his best qualities, though whether that happens remains to be seen. Yes, the opponent was Wigan, and the result alone proves little, but sometimes these kinds of matches spark momentum. This victory could act as a catalyst both for individuals and for the team as a whole, and that ultimately is the most valuable outcome from a fixture like this. Arsenal injury update, latest on Ricardo Calafiori, Martinodegaard and Ben White with potential return timelines. Arsenal received a timely boost over the weekend as Williamsaliba returned from injury, but the victory over Wigan also brought fresh defensive concerns. Saliba started and completed an hour in the 4-0 FA Cup win, yet Ricardo Calafiori was ruled out before kick-off and Ben White was forced off late in the match. The setbacks followed concerns surrounding captain Martin Odegaard, who picked up a knock against Brentford, while Kaihavertz has already been sidelined for several weeks. There is, however, encouraging news regarding youngster Max Dowman. Ricardo Calafiori, Arsenal were forced into a late change ahead of their FA Cup clash with Wigan as Calafiori withdrew from the starting 11. The Italian had been named at left-back but was replaced by Bukayo Saka just minutes before kick-off. It marks the second occasion this season that Calafiori has dropped out after the warm-up, having previously suffered an issue before the Brighton fixture in December. After the game, Mikel Arteta said, "Yeah, him and Ben are the only doubts. We have to wait and see in the next 48 hours how things develop." Ben White was substituted late in the game but was later seen sitting comfortably on the bench alongside his teammates, which initially suggested the issue might not be serious. He was also spotted speaking with Arteta after the final whistle. While Arteta sounded cautious in his post-match comments, White later appeared to calm fears by posting on Instagram celebrating the win with the message, "No injuries." Martin Odegaard has attempted to ease concerns over the knee problem he suffered during Arsenal's 1-1 draw with Brentford. The captain completed the full 90 minutes at the GTEC Community Stadium but was seen limping afterwards and subsequently missed the 4-0 victory over Wigan. In Arsenal's matchday programme, Odegaard explained, "I picked up a bit of an injury when they scored, but hopefully it's not too bad. But I tried to clear the ball and overstretched my leg, which pinched my knee. I managed to carry on, but it was very sore the next morning." Thankfully, it doesn't look too serious. Arteta later added, with Martin, we'll have to wait and see. He wasn't fit for today. Kaihavertz. Havertz is facing another spell on the sidelines due to a muscular problem. The German forward had recently returned from a serious knee injury and was beginning to regain form, contributing 2 goals and 2 assists in his previous 4 appearances. However, he felt discomfort after the Sunderland match earlier this month and is expected to miss several weeks. He has already been absent for the Brentford draw and Wigan win and could also miss upcoming fixtures against Wolves and Tottenham. Arteta previously stated after the Sunderland game, Kai felt a little niggle, so we need to assess how long he'll be out. Cole Palmer and Morgan Rogers react to Noni Madueke's display versus Wigan. Arsenal secured an emphatic 4-0 victory over Wigan Athletic in the FA Cup 4th round at the Emirates Stadium. The Gunners, heavy favourites heading into the tie, effectively ended the contest within the opening 27 minutes thanks to a flurry of goals. Noni Madueke opened the scoring and delivered one of the standout performances of the afternoon. Former England international Owen Hargreaves praised him as a great player, and his England teammates also showed appreciation. Shortly after the match, Madueke shared a post on Instagram which received replies from Chelsea's Cole Palmer and Aston Villa's Morgan Rogers, who reacted with heart and fire emojis. The 23-year-old has been in impressive form recently, registering 3 goals and 1 assist in his last 5 appearances across all competitions. He has stepped up during Bukayo Saka's absence, although both players featured together against Wigan, with Saka operating centrally in the no.10 role. Beyond his goal, Madueke created 4 chances, completed 3 successful dribbles, made 4 recoveries and won 3 duels before being substituted just after the hour mark. His early withdrawal may suggest he is being preserved for Wednesday night's rescheduled Premier League clash with Wolverhampton Wanderers. Madueke has an excellent record against Wolves, scoring 4 goals in his last 2 appearances against them, including a hat-trick at Molineux for Chelsea last season. Arteta also hinted in his post-match press conference that Saka could feature centrally more often, raising the possibility that he could continue in an attacking midfield role against Wolves. Arsenal stormed into the 5th round of the FA Cup with a ruthless first-half display, dismantling third-tier Wigan Athletic 4-0 at the Emirates Stadium. It marks the first time since their 2020 triumph that the Gunners have reached this stage of the competition. Goals from Noni Madueke, Gabriel Martinelli and Gabrieljesus, along with a Jack Hunt own goal, all arrived within a devastating 17-minute spell before half-time. The early blitz effectively ended the contest and keeps alive Arsenal's ambitions of an unprecedented quadruple this season. Wigan were overwhelmed in front of nearly 60,000 supporters, with Arsenal's dominance clear from the outset. Big money summer signing Eberechi Eze stood out with an excellent performance, providing 2 assists in a one-sided affair. Australian winger Rafael Borges Rodriguez featured in one of the biggest games of his career and earned a respectable 7.7 rating from SofaScore, but Wigan were ultimately outclassed. Arsenal were not the only Premier League side to progress on Sunday, as Fulham, Leeds United, Sunderland and Wolverhampton Wanderers also advanced to the last 16. Fulham came from behind to defeat Championship side Stoke City 2-1. Harrison Reed struck a late winner after capitalising on a poor pass from goalkeeper Tommy Simkin. Brazilian winger Kevin levelled shortly after the restart, cancelling out BAE June Ho's early opener for Stoke. Sunderland edged past Oxford United 1-0 thanks to a Habib Diarra penalty, while Wolves secured a narrow 1-0 win over Grimsby Town at a rain-soaked Blundell Park. With Santiago Bueno scoring the decisive goal, Leeds United needed penalties to overcome Birmingham City after a 1-1 draw following extra time. Lucas Nemecha put Leeds ahead early in the second half, but Patrick Roberts equalised in the 89th minute. In the shootout, goalkeeper Lucas Perry saved from Tommy Doyle, and after Roberts missed, Sean Longstaff converted to seal a 4-2 triumph for Daniel Farke's side. Despite Sunday's routine wins for top-flight clubs, the weekend had already delivered a major shock. League One side Mansfield Town stunned Premier League outfit Burnley with a 2-1 comeback victory at Turf Moor. Lewis Reed's 83rd minute strike completed the turnaround after Burnley had led in the first half, increasing pressure on manager Scott Parker. While not quite as dramatic as non-league Macclesfield Town's upset over holders Crystal Palace in the previous round, Mansfield's victory added another chapter to this season's surprises in football's oldest knockout competition. Liverpool also booked their place in round 5 with a comfortable 3-0 win over Brighton and Hove Albion at Anfield. Curtis Jones, Dominic Szoboszlai and Mohamed Salah from the penalty spot found the net to ensure safe passage. Elsewhere, Australian international Mohamed Toure scored again as Norwich City beat West Bromwich Albion 3-1 and Newcastle United recorded the same scoreline away at Aston Villa. Burton Albion, battling relegation in League One, pushed West Ham United hard but eventually fell to a 1-0 defeat. Southampton required extra time to edge past Leicester City 2-1.